I was literally just scrolling on Tinder and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Swipe. He texts me, the first thing he texts me, hey fat girl.
Self-proclaimed. Like I've never heard someone proudly.
Yeah, they say I'm a pervert.
I'm like, do you know
they say that on the app?
Like, hi, I'm a pervert.
Like, someone will be like, text, I'm a pervert. Can I see your tits? I'm a pervert. Can you show me your feet? I'm a pervert. Can I show you my dick?
That happened to me like.
Pornhub is there for you, boo.
It's not in Korea. Porn's illegal in Korea.
Oh, we have a way to do it.
Into today's video, which is going to be a discussion about dating in Korea as a foreigner versus dating in Korea as a Korean girl. This is mainly for the ladies. I'm sorry, it's all I know. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Okay. Now, for those who don't know, which at this point I don't know how you don't know, because if you've been watching my videos, you've heard this name a lot because I like it. So, Skillshare is an online learning community, and I've been using it since December because I've been trying to get better at speaking conversational Korean in preparation for right now, being back in Korea. Now I'm trying to challenge myself more and actually speak Korean to Korean people, but it's not just for the language benefits. There's classes for language, that's true, but there's also classes for creative writing, film, photography, cooking, travel, editing, all sorts of skills that you might want to learn. So if you're like me and you want to increase your skills online at your own pace, because this is all on your own time whenever you feel like practicing and learning, increasing your skills in these different interests and genres you have, it's getting bigger and bigger. Like I've already seen new classes being added. So for my subscribers who are interested in Skillshare, which you really should be, give it a look. You can get access to a free trial. There's a link in the description box below. And if you do like it, which again, I'm really sure you will, it's less than $10 a month with the annual subscriptions, so it helps save you money in the long run. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description box below, and let's get back to the video. I like that jacket, by the way.
What should I say?
So, I am here with two chingus, two friends. You guys have seen Bria many times.
Hey.
Yeah. And this is Jiyeon.
Hey.
I get a lot of questions because, you know, I've complained a lot on my channel about my bad experiences with dating here. And a lot of people want to know, like, am I cursed? Is it just me? Which is not, because all my friends will agree. But a lot of people kind of wonder if the dynamic is different between Korean guys, how they talk to foreign girls versus how they talk to Korean girls. So again, these are just our experiences. Disclaimer, do not try to say, all Koreans aren't like that, because that's never my goal. That's never my intention to try and speak for everyone. This is just one story, one drop in the bucket of life. We're gonna talk a little bit about dating here and what it's been like. I think we should start this off, Bria. How long have you been here?
Almost 3 years. Yeah. Dating here is weird. I don't know, cause it ranges. Like there's some Koreans who are very like experienced with Western culture, like they lived abroad or they've like studied English for a long time, so they speak English really fluently and they understand like just our mindset, and that's usually fine. And then there's some, like the joke term is like Korean. Even Koreans say it, like,
oh really?
Someone is Korean, yeah. Which is like, because Jay says it all the time, like about other people, and you said it.
Jay?
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, okay.
But you've also said it to me, like, are they Korean? So it's not like everyone wants to say racist on everything. It's not like that's like a term. So calm down. Korean is like someone who's like born in Korea, raised in Korea, like never really left or traveled. So they're obviously their mentality about like dating and other cultures is different.
It's a little limited.
Yeah.
So what about you? Like, are you Korean or?
I
you
am
consider
Korean.
I don't think she's Korean.
I think I'm Korean.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Because, okay, I was not born in Korea. I was born in Jakarta.
Oh!
But I left Jakarta when I was like 2. I grew up in Korea and I finished all my studies in Korea, so I think that makes me Korean.
Does she act Korean?
Right. I'd like kind of assume like you might have studied abroad or
yeah, I did like 1 semester in Belgium, but it's not an English speaking country, so I don't know if it counts.
I feel like any Western.
They speak like Dutch, French, and German.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah, me too. A background for her too, so it kind of balances out. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. So I think I'm Korean.
Just next.
So I would say like my general experience dating is not bad, but most of the time I feel like when Korean guys are dating foreigner girls, they don't take us seriously. So like if you go onto Tinder, Bumble, whatever, it'll literally say one night stands, friends with benefits. Like that's all they post.
One night to.
Yeah,
One night, just one night, one night to.
That's all they post. And even from my other friends, like, no, don't get me wrong, I have several friends who've met and married people they've met on Tinder and their relationships are great. But at least my overall experience is very like, oh, I'm just looking for like something casual. They're not looking, they don't consider us as a real partner, or like they'll see the foreigner as like someone to date for like fun, to like get a taste, and then will ultimately end up marrying or dating a Korean seriously. Which like if that's what you want to do. Excuse me.
But like, were they Koreans?
They were Korean.
Oh really?
All of
Okay.
No, 97% of the guys that I've dated here are Korean. I've dated a couple of like Americans here and there, but
it does seem like
mostly
foreign
Korean.
guys here almost exclusively want a Korean girl.
Yeah, most foreign guys here aren't interested in dating their own, which like I don't blame you. Like you came to Korea, then maybe that's your case. Like I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at you for that.
Yeah, but my question was like, you know people, like friends who actually met on apps and then they got married and they got serious. Were they Koreans or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So my best friend is American. When she was studying abroad here, she met her then boyfriend, and now they're married and moved back into the States.
Oh yeah, I think you talked about it.
Malia and Jay, you guys. Everyone knows them. I don't know why I'm acting like no one knows them. Everyone knows there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're happily married and living in the States, and they're fine.
And I know a couple who met on Tinder. They live in Gangnam. They met on Tinder. She's Puerto Rican, he's Korean. They have a baby and they're married.
What?
Yeah. So it happens.
It does happen.
It's not very common.
It's becoming more common than it initially was.
I think initially people, most at least Korean people, thought that it's like a hookup app.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
how
totally
we
different than the States. Because in the States,
I
it's
met
not a
legit
hookup app.
friends there. Like, yeah. Here people are like, well, it's for hookups. What do you expect? I'm like, but it's not though. Like,
In the States, I would meet people and like go out on real dates. It was all like actually dating and like getting to know people. It was only when I came to Korea that I saw all the people were like, I'm just looking at and I was like, what we do?
yeah. And then because like a lot of people wonder why foreigners spend their time on there, but like when you're in a country where you don't necessarily speak a language fluently, you can't just go to a stranger and
Be like, hey, be my friend.
and like, I hope you speak English. Hi. They're just like, you just as a foreigner, it's very convenient when you can see if they like say, oh, I studied abroad, I lived abroad, or it's part of it's in English and it sounds natural. It's just easier that way. So.
And it's also, there's a lot of like fat phobia here, like it's a whole thing, and then there's also a lot of colorism too. Like, not to say that it doesn't exist in the States, because it does, but like I literally, so one of my stories, I was literally just scrolling on Tinder and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. So he texts me, the first thing he texts me, hey fat girl.
What?
I was like,
wait, you told me about that.
I told you about that.
Okay, I'm gonna say,
and I was like, what? And he was like, you're fat. And I was like, is there a point to this? Like, okay. And then I was like, okay, did you just text me to like say that? Like, cause I mean, I am sick. Like, I don't care. You can say it. Okay, it's not gonna change. And he was like, no, I'm trying to motivate you.
What?
And I was like, motivate me to do what? Slap your ass? That's what I'm about to do? And he's like, no, you're a fat girl. Like, you should work out. And I was like, you don't even know me. You don't know if I work out or not. Like,
at least 3-4 times a week?
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, bye. Like, unmatched. Like, what is, like, stuff like that has happened to me.
So, as a Korean girl, does these stories sound familiar at all? Or like, and again, this is just our experiences, but like, have you met Korean guys who talked to you and approached you in that way, looking for just one night or just friends with benefits, or, you know, because I know like it's kind of like the stigma where they take Korean girls obviously more seriously because their families will welcome another Korean before they welcome another foreigner. So like, I was just curious because a lot of people ask like, is this how they are with everyone, or is it just foreigners? Just
I think it's both. I think it's the app too. Like when you use the app, mostly guys, they're like, that's the basic mindset they have. Like, I'm just doing it for fun, you know? So it's that's it. And also if you're a foreigner, then I think it just makes it worse because like they know that, you know, you're not gonna stay, you're just staying here like temporary. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's part of it.
I've used apps too, and I've seen a lot of guys like that too, like a lot of pervs and rude
Self-proclaimed.
people.
Like I've never heard someone proudly.
Yeah, they say I'm a pervert.
I'm like, do you know what
They
that
say
means?
that on the app. They'll
Like,
be
hi, I'm a pervert.
Like, some will be like, text, I'm a pervert. Can I see your tits? I'm a pervert. Can you show me your feet? I'm a pervert. Can I show you my dick?
That happened to me last night.
Pornhub is there for you, boo.
It's not in
Go.
Korea.
Oh,
Porn's
wow.
illegal in Korea.
Oh, we have a way to do it.
There you go. So,
She said we
don't
find a
message
way.
girls with that. That's gross and uncalled for. Because the answer is no.
I genuinely want to know if that gets responses from girls. If they're like, oh, pervert, yes. Like, I've never encountered a girl who said, yeah, I like this guy, he's a pervert.
I like pervert.
I don't understand what that means. So it's refreshing and interesting to see that as a Korean girl, you've experienced
Yeah, I
that thing
experienced
too.
it too.
Like, a lot of people are like, is it just foreigners? Why do you mean the foreigners? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just foreigners. I'm not a Korean person.
The thing that it's like a joke in Korea, it's a Korean surprise. Where it's like, there's like some bad news that's coming. They'll like delay telling you until the last minute. So like, for example, like say my boss has like a last minute something that I have to do. He'll wait until 3 days before or 2 days before and be like, oh, actually, I need you to do all this extra work because of whatever reason. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me this a week ago? It's because they don't want you to have like this negative mindset because you know you have this stuff coming. Or like that goes with like dating too, where like a guy will not tell you that they're like not into you or whatever, and they'll just ghost.
He's a phantom.
It's like a saving face. Like they don't want to be the bad guy.
Duh. I feel like that makes it
Disappear.
worse.
It does. To me, it makes
That
it
makes
worse.
it so much
It's
worse.
Like
for
it's
them.
to me and for them.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just be like, hey, you know,
It's not working out.
not really feeling it, but you know, you're a good person out, and I hope you find someone. Great, thank you. Goodbye. You could go. But rather than that, they just ghost you, and it's like,
Is it me?
what is the
Did you-
what
Are
is
you
the
dead?
purpose?
Did you die?
Yeah.
Have you been ghosted as well?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Like I had this one guy that I've told the story on my channel before, but there was this guy who we started talking, and we were talking for like a month online, and then we started like hanging out in person. It was really great. And then maybe like 2 weeks in, we were like, okay, let's be like exclusive. Like maybe not officially a couple yet, but like going in that direction. And so I was about to do Thanksgiving dinner with like Chuseok dinner with all my friends, and so he was gonna come with us to meet them.
Yeah, we were excited to meet him.
It was like a whole thing. It was so good. And so that night before he bought, because our friends live in Wonju, or Malianje, we were going to Malianje's house, and it was when they were living in Wonju. And so he bought like mine and his like bus tickets to go up there. And so it's the morning of, and I'm like, okay, like I'm about to go to the station, like I'll meet you there. And he's like, oh, like I can't because I have to like help my family with something last minute. I'm so sorry. Like I'll see you when you get back. Like it's an emergency and I can't go. And I was like, oh, like, you know, that's fine. I understand. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, go help your family. So I go. He doesn't text me the whole weekend. Like, not at all. And I was like, so I'm thinking, oh, it was something really serious. Like, something really, like, somebody died or something. It's now, like, and so that was on, like, Saturday morning or something. So it's now, like, Sunday night. And I'm like, hey, like, I know you're dealing with stuff. Like, just let me know you're okay. So then now it's, like, Tuesday. I've still heard nothing from him. I was like, we just agreed to be exclusive. I'm like worried about you. I don't know if you're ghosting. I don't know what's happening. And I never heard from him again. That was it.
Korean dude.
Korean dude. That was 2 years ago?
2018. Into 2019.
Yeah, 2018, like end of the year. So then this year, or last year, 2020, I randomly got a DM in my Instagram like, hey Bria, how are you doing? I was like, what the hell? Oh Jesus, wanted to fight. I was like, are you seriously messaging me
They always come back.
on Instagram? And he was like, yeah, like I'm so sorry about how things turned out. And so I asked him, so like, why did you ghost? Like, what happened? I was really worried about you. Ghost again.
Damn.
He He just disappeared, and I was like, so what was the point of you sliding into my DMs again? You knew I was gonna ask you about that.
He probably was gonna hope you wouldn't.
That was probably the worst ghost, because it was like we were almost in a relationship. So.
But wasn't there like a, I don't know if it's like a right term, like red sign?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, literally, he used to come to my house every day. He'd meet me after work. Because he worked late and I worked late, so it kind of worked out for us. We're like, we'd hang out in the morning and then go to work, and then he'd come over like to hang out after, like at night. And like we didn't sleep together because I wanted to see if he was really interested in me or he was interested in hooking up, and he never like pushed me into doing any, like nothing. He was never like, let's fuck. Like, he never did that. So I was like, oh, this seems like a good dude. Like,
so yeah, I was thinking, I think I've been ghosted too, but like it was mutual.
oh,
Details, story time.
I don't know. We just didn't have chemistry. Like we didn't have the vibe.
was
So,
one
like,
my friend?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I had set her up with one of my coworkers who I thought they would be a good match. But
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
you guys
see.
were fine. Like, he was nice.
Yeah,
but
he was nice.
he just like, you guys weren't each other's types, I think.
Like it's not ghosting, but like we just like slowly like drifted apart.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
One thing I also heard, because I know in Korea you count like the days you've been together, and like 100 days is like the
Oh.
main
Do you
thing.
do that?
I've never done that.
I heard that. Is it because that like relationships don't last that long? Like 100 days is like rare. That's just what I've heard. But
Yeah,
I
me
don't-
too.
I don't really know.
Actually, it's like a high school thing, or like
Mm.
maybe I don't know, like 2021.
Really?
Yeah, but like
Mm.
none of my friends really do that anymore.
Mm.
It's like
'Cause I heard there were like apps to help you keep
yeah, there's an app like called Between.
See,
track.
listen.
Between.
That's true. That's just what I
Okay,
think.
take back what I said. I don't think I'm like a Korean.
I feel like when I see Korean couples, like more often than not,
It's
not
a lot of
always,
work.
the girl is very like, yeah,
Needy.
kind of needy-ish. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be like, but
Korean girls aren't all like that.
I'm not saying they all are, because like I have Korean
Personally, I get along
girlfriends.
better with Korean girls than Korean guys.
Well, I have a lot of Korean girlfriends who are in relationships and they're not like that. It's just what I like when I'm on like public transportation. They're very much like, oh, I'm like, girl, can you calm down? Or like the other day, like I feel like they expect the men to like really take care of them.
There's a lot of like pouting.
Yes, there's
Like,
a lot of pouting.
Oppa.
And they be smacking the shit out of them, and I'm like,
Okay, I didn't see that.
you haven't seen that?
No.
Yeah, like they'll be like not arguing really, but like, oh, I want this. Like, oh, why not?
yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
girl. Like, I saw this one couple. They were on the subway, and she's standing in front of him, and he's standing behind her, and they're like holding on to the. Yeah, you saw me post it. I posted on my
Yeah, I
story.
saw it.
I take a picture of the reflection. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I know what you're talking
I've
about.
not seen my friends act like that, even if they have a Korean significant other, whether it's girl or guy.
I feel like skinship has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like before you were not really supposed to touch in public, and now you can tell people who are clearly couples because they're really close and
Yeah, they
really
be rubbing all each
affectionate
other and
So like, were any of these stories like a shock to you, like as a foreigner, like hearing how foreigners, some of the stories or the situations were in as foreigners?
Pretty much everything you said was shocking. I mean, it's
My
so
life is
racist,
hard.
it's so sexist, it's just, I don't know, it's everything. Everything bad.
like we said, it's not all people. Like
Right.
I've met and like gone out with several people who were great and we just didn't click, but it wasn't like it was something negative. So I don't want to give people the impression that like you can't meet someone, but also like don't expect it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something like I'm gonna come here and jump into a relationship. Like, you know, if you meet someone, great. If you don't,
Yeah.
you just might not. Like
Yeah,
it's not a
that's-
huge thing.
That's the kind of money.
And don't have any of these like K-drama expectations because
Lord.
they're not real. Okay?
I don't. Yeah, I
No,
don't
Opla's
understand
gonna
that.
see you in the store and buy your milk for you, and then you're gonna fall in love. Like,
I don't even watch any K-drama.
I don't anymore either. Like, I do just want to emphasize, because a lot of people ask about racism in Korea, and it's not any more racist than any other country. Like, it's really not. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, they're doing that because you're black or because you're white. I'm like, but that's in America too, you know? I do find it is a lot easier to get along with and talk with Korean people who's like studied abroad, lived abroad, worked abroad. It's just a natural clicking thing that just, you don't have to explain as many things.
Yeah.
There aren't certain expectations. They don't have the same like assumptions and stereotypes, and it's really nice. Like, I hate to say it, because even when I do try to meet people here, I try to meet people who I guess aren't Korean.
Yeah.
Like, when they're like, oh, I studied in Canada for 2 years, I'm like, okay, we'll probably be able to be friends.
We'll probably understand it.
We'll probably understand.
You get ghosted. It's not only you.
C'est la vie.
Happens to everyone.
Yeah.
So don't lose heart.
It's the other
Even if it's
person, not you. And that's why I don't use apps anymore. Like, just giving up is sometimes a solution. So.
Alright guys, so thank y'all so much for helping me with this video.
You're welcome.
Check out their Instas. I will link them in the description box below if y'all want to ask questions, talk about, you know, certain things in this video a little bit more. She's very cool, very friendly. Rhea don't shut up, so she will help you. What? We all, you too? Well, she's single too, y'all. She's single.
I'm married to my cat.
Does he know that? Look at him trying to get away. So, thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.
Annyeong.